Hey guys, what's going on? It's King Clutch here, and today, guys, we're back in the NBA 2K20. I hope you guys are all having a great day, and everything's going well for you guys. Today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you guys how to build Paul George here in NBA 2K20. Now, honestly, this build is extremely hard to make. I'm just going to say this right up because 2K completely screwed over small forwards this year, really, really bad. So it makes it extremely hard to make like a decent small forward that can actually play pretty well. I'm going to make it a small forward, but if you wanted to make this build like a 6'6 shooting guard or like a 6'5 point guard, you could do it. I'd build it similarly. You probably it's not going to be the exact height of Paul George or anything, but you could definitely get a player similar to his play style, building it a point guard or a shooting guard if you'd like. I'm going to build it a small forward just for this video purpose. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this. We're going to make him a small forward, right-handed, jersey number 13. Now, guys, for the skill breakdown, I feel like there's a few you can pick for this. Like Paul George, he's obviously primarily known for his defense. He's more of a, he is one of the best two-way players in the NBA. Like that is what he was known for. You know, he's known for his defensive ability and his ability to score. So I'm going to pick the defending and the shooting pie chart. Now I know with a small forward, the shooting stats aren't the best, but this is what you have to go with if you're making a small forward here in 2K20. It kind of does suck that when you make small forwards this year, they're kind of ruined, but we're going to go with the defending and the shooting pie chart for this Paul George build. This way we'll still have good defensive abilities, be able to get those defensive badges. We can pass the ball pretty well. Be able to dunk with this build. It shouldn't be too challenging. So guys, we're going to go with the defending and the shooting pie chart for this build. Now for the physical profile, I feel like there's a few you can pick from. I'm going to go with the vertical and the speed because I want to be able to have a good vertical with this build. Being 6'8", I still want to be able to jump decently high. Since you're going to be a little bit slower than if you were to make this build at a guard position, I feel like going balance is good. Your strength's still pretty decently high. Everything is right around the 70s, mid 70s. So I feel like with this pie chart, you know, it helps you have a decent vertical. You're going to be able to jump, and overall, it's probably just better than going primarily speed. So we're going to go with the agility and the vertical pie chart for this build. For these attributes, I'm going to max out the close shot, driving layup, driving dunk. I'm going to max out all of these shooting stats. I'm going to take my post fade down a little bit so we can still get 17. So we're going to leave that at a 78. Pass accuracy, we're going to max. Ball handle, we're going to max. We're going to max interior D, perimeter D, lateral quickness, steal, and then our defensive rebound. And we have 19 of these points left. What you can do with these is really, it's up to you. I'm going to go ahead and put these on standing dunk to give myself more of those badges. But if you'd like, you can go ahead and put on block or maybe post moves if you want to end up doing those. But I'm going to put them on finishing so we can get some more of these badges. You can put them on either post hook or standing dunk, whatever you prefer. I'm going to go standing dunk. So that way we max out our close shot, driving layup, driving dunk, standing dunk, everything else, and then we just put our post fade down 2 points. So this is what it looks like for the attributes. We got 5 finishing badges, 17 shooting, 6 playmaking, and 15 rebounding. Now, I know that's not a ton of badges, but for a small forward build, I feel like that is pretty decent. We're pretty well rounded. Well, obviously, shooting in our defensive categories are the best, but we can still get some playmaking badges and some finishing badges with this build. Now, for the body style, body shape, again, this doesn't matter. I'm gonna go built, but really, you could go whatever you wanted. You could go compact. I feel like that's kind of a Paul George-esque body type, or defined. Now guys, for the height, Paul George is listed as 6'8". I'm going to go with 6'8". You could go 6'7" if you wanted. That seems like a good height for small forwards. Otherwise, you know, you could even go 6'6" if you really wanted to. That'd make it more of a guard style build. You know, you're a little bit taller than some guards. You'd be kind of short for a small forward, but at least when you're going 6'8", you're tall. You'll definitely be in the middle if you're running the second spot, and you still have a center on your team. You could definitely run this build at 6'8" and be fine. Your shooting stats don't take too much of a hit. So we are going to go with 6'8" for this height for this Paul George build. Now for the weight, Paul George is listed as 220. You could go 220. The middle spot for this build is 222. And if you take it down to 220, you lose a strength, you get a vertical. If you go down a little bit further, you're not getting much of a change in your excel. You could put it maybe a little bit higher, you'll get boost to your interior D. So what I would really suggest is if you put the weight at 225, you'll get 1 boost on your interior D and lose nothing else. You could go with that. If you go with the exact 220, you're losing a strength, you're getting a vertical, but you're not getting any skill boost. So what you could do is just go 225, get an interior defense boost, and not lose anything else. So I'm going to go with 225, and I know that is 5 pounds heavier than he is, but I feel like overall, that's probably the better height to go with just by the legitimate statistics for this build. Now for the wingspan, guys. So guys, Paul George's wingspan is 83.25. That is what it comes out to when you check it up on Google. So what you could do, you could minimize this build if you want to be able to shoot well, but you're going to take a hit in defensive categories as well. And that's the same reason I don't want to max it, because you want to leave, those are the 2 categories you want, and either way you go, you're taking a hit in a different category. You want to be able to leave those 2 abilities because that's what you want to be able to do with this build is score and play defense. So what you could do, you can either go up or down, really. You can leave it in the middle, do whatever you prefer. But what I'm going to do is I'm thinking I'm going to go with 82.9 because this, if I go any lower than the medium, 84.8, if I go down once, I get 1 to my 3-point. I still lose 1 steal and 1 block. But if I go 1 more, I get 1 more to my mid-range, but I don't lose anything else. And I also gain a strength. That way I'm not taking much of a hit. And really, this 82 would be good too if you don't care much about getting a 74 steal. You're getting another boost to your shooting stats along with your ball handle. I'm going to go with 82.9 though. Again, maxing it. If you want to make more of a defensive build, go ahead. If you feel like you can live with that -4 and -3 to your shooting stats, go right ahead. But I'm going to go with this 82.9 for my wingspan for this build. For the takeover for this build, I honestly feel like there's 3 really good options. There's one I wouldn't go with, and that's this one here. I would not go with the playmaking takeover. That's just my honest opinion. The ones that I would go with would either be spot-up shooter, defensive, or the slashing takeover. Now, if you want to score with this build, go slashing takeover. That's what I would do. I would not pick spot-up shooter. That would be my 3rd choice. My first 2 choices would be between defensive or slashing. Now, really, it's preference. If you want to, play more as a scorer, go with this, the slashing takeover. I'm going to probably go with the defensive takeover for this build because that's what Paul George is known for. He is known, well, he's actually really known for his explosive dunks. Like, everyone knows that 360 he did in Indiana. But a lot of that is generated from his defense, and he brings a lot of energy to the floor with his defensive ability, guys. So I'm going to go with the lockdown takeover, but the slashing takeover is also a really, really good option if you want to be able to dunk extremely well with this build. That's a great option. It really depends what you prefer. I'm going to go with the lockdown takeover just to make it more Paul George-esque, but really the slashing takeover is a great option as well. But we're going to go lock takeover for this build, guys. And for this build, we are going to get a 3-level scorer similar to Gordon Hayward, Kelly Oubre, and Jalen Rose. Now, I know it doesn't say Paul George. I really don't care about that, to be 100% honest. I feel like this is the best way you can build PG. Now, some of these players, it's just hard to get the names. You have to get like the attributes exactly right, and it's just annoying. So what I'm going to do is I feel like this is a very, very good representation of a small forward that is Paul George. Small forwards this year in 2K are pretty much broken. I've rarely seen anyone with small forwards, and if they make a small forward, it's a 6'6" small forward. Occasionally, I've seen some 6'8s, which are good if you build them right, and they're more, if they're more of a slashing build, they're usually really good because you're able to body people and push people. This is also good because you're going to be able to shoot well with this build. It's similar to a stretch because you're taller than other people. You can shoot over them, and their contest shouldn't do as much, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys the badges that I would put on this Paul George build, guys. We'll throw this up to a 99 overall, and I'll show you guys what it's looking like. But if there's any other NBA players you guys would like me to make sooner than later, put them down in the comments, and I can go ahead and make those for you guys and give you guys those videos soon. So, guys, for these finishing badges, I'm going to put contact finisher on gold. Then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put fancy footwork on bronze and slithery finisher. Now, if you wanted, I would probably maybe put fancy footwork on silver, but I'm going to put slithery because I feel like that's another badge I'd love to have. Also, giant slayer is a good option, but we're going to go with gold contact, bronze fancy footwork, and bronze slithery finisher for our finishing badges on this Paul George build. Now for these playmaking badges, guys, I feel like there's some you're going to want to go with. You're going to want handles for days. I feel like you're going to want quick first step and also space creator. Now you only get 6, so those are the ones that I would go with. I'm not going to put any of them on gold because those are the 3 badges I want. Now obviously if I had more, I'd want more of these, probably when it comes to tight handles, stop and go, and unpluckable. But really, you could throw some of these on bronze if you'd like, but I would go with this for my playmaking badges. And space creator is something I feel like you're going to want, because if you're doing any step backs and wanting to shoot with this build, you're going to want to have this. It's something that you're going to need to have because you want to be able to create more space from your defender with this build. And handles for days and quick first step are kind of ones that you want no matter the build. For these shooting badges, you can throw these up to Hall of Fame if you'd like. I'm going to put Deadeye on Hall of Fame. I'm going to put, not deep fades. I want difficult shots on gold. I also want range extender on Hall of Fame. I'm going to put quick draw on silver. Again, this is a preference. Some people I know like it on gold, some like it on Hall of Fame. I'm going to put it on silver. I'd rather put these badges in other places. That's just my opinion, guys. But you can go ahead and put quick draw on higher if you would like. Now, I feel like deep fades Paul George would have. He can shoot fades pretty consistently with backing people down, so I'm just going to leave that on bronze. I'm also going to leave catch and shoot on bronze because Paul George does seem to shoot quite a few catch and shoot shots. Now, the other 2 guys, what you can do is I'm going to put them on Green Machine and Hot Zone Hunter, leave those on bronze. Now, me personally, I feel like some badges are almost better on bronze than anything higher. Bronze or silver, you don't need them. They still somewhat work. And so that's what some of these are. Like catch and shoot is kind of a placebo. I feel like it sometimes works. It's hard to tell if it really does because if your point guard has dimer, it's really, really confusing, and I have a hard time telling if it actually makes much of a percentage difference. But the rest rest of these are just badges that I feel like you could have. The levels can be completely different if there's a badge you prefer over something else. But this is probably what I would do for these shooting badges for this build. Now guys, for these defensive badges, I'm going to put clamps on gold for now. I might change that later. I want to put intimidator on Hall of Fame. And guys, this is my opinion. I feel like Intimidator is the most overpowered defensive badge this year. It's the badge that everyone's going to want. That's just my opinion. I'm going to put Pickpocket on silver. I'm going to put Interceptor on silver. I want Chase Down Artist on silver. I want Pick Dodger on bronze. The only reason a lot of these are on bronze are because I feel like Pickpocket, you can leave it on silver or bronze and be fine. Interceptor makes a difference depending on what level you have it, but silver is plenty high enough to leave it there. Intimidator is a great badge to have. Just, you know, it helps alter people's shots. And then Chase Down Artist, again, is something you're going to want because Paul George can get chase down blocks, and this way you'll get the leaping animations, and then clamps to help play perimeter D. I'd love to put this up to Hall of Fame, but what I'm going to do with this last badge is put this on Rim Protector because this will help me give me different block shots. It'll give me different block animations to help block people. And then by having, what I've noticed, if you have Rim Protector, Intimidator, and Chase Down all at the same time, your block percentages go up a lot, and you have a way better chance of blocking somebody's shot and making them miss. So that's what I would do for these defensive badges. I feel like you don't need Pick Dodger any higher than bronze. I feel like this is perfectly fine. And again, you can go ahead and change these levels, but these are some badges that I like for a Paul George style build. When you're playing perimeter D, I feel like these are some great defensive badges for this, guys. But anyways, it's been King Clutch here, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys have any players, again, that you'd want me to make, put it on in the comments. I can try to make those as soon as possible for you guys. But anyways, guys, I've been King Clutch here. Have a great rest of your day, and peace out, guys. Thanks.